Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about the New York Jets massacre on the road in Seattle, 40-3 final. Disgusting. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, you can check out the podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday. You can call in, leave me your question. I'll try to get to it on the show. And lastly, happy birthday, Mike from Canada. Your son reached out to me on Twitter, said you watch a ton of videos. So just wanted to say thank you for supporting. Happy birthday, my man. And don't worry, 3 more games and we are all in this together. So let's jump right into this game. It started like every other Jets game does. On the opening possession, the New York Jets offense looks okay, semi-passable as an NFL offense. Jets pick up a couple of first downs. Sam hit Perryman on a nice play. Gore run for 1 yard on 2nd and 10 kills the drive, which is just, again, why a 2nd and 10 run for 1 yard is just, in 2020, how is this possible? The Jets settle for 3. They go up 3-0 in this game. Hawks get the ball. They're marching right down the field. The end arounds were just killing the Jets on this first drive. They were, I don't know, this defense is not good. Greg Williams was not the issue. I think we all knew this, but yeah. So Wilson threw for a touchdown pass to Freddie Swain. 7-3, the Seahawks are up, and they would not look back after this. The Jets would go 3 and out on the next possession. Guess what? The Jets offense was terrible today after that first possession. They looked like garbage. So on the next Seattle possession, the highlight play of the day for the Jets, an incredible interception from Marcus May. An unbelievable play over the top of DK Metcalf. Really nice play. Yes, I hope they bring him back. Yes, I think if the Jets offer him a reasonable contract extension, he will be back. So that would be the play for me. I don't know about you, but this seems like one of the few guys on this team that you want to keep around long term. So after the interception, Sam Darnold was nearly intercepted by Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams still can't catch the football. He is very good at rushing the passer. He cannot catch interceptions, though. Sam got really lucky. This was the first of 3 passes that probably should have been picked off. He played awful today. He was terrible against a terrible pass defense. Yes, there are a lot of reasons why Sam isn't playing well, but he's just not good. You got to move on from him after this year, unfortunately. Seahawks run the ball right down the Jets' throat after the Jets punt away. Then we get a fade route to DK Metcalf, 14-3. Poor Bryce Hall. He bit hard on the slant, and they went fade. Bryce Hall, a little over-aggressive there. I would rather him get those mistakes out of the way now in a lost season, and then maybe next year. I think this kid could start. I really think that this kid can be a starting caliber corner. Yes, they desperately need help at the cornerback position and in the secondary, don't get me wrong, but even with this mistake, I still think he was okay. The tank gods, this is when the tank gods started coming out because Frank Gore fumbled. Yes, the seasoned veteran 37-year-old Frank Gore came up with a fumble. Seattle would get the ball in great field position. Unfortunately, they settled for 3 and not a touchdown, so it is 17-3 at this point. They are rolling. After that field goal, Ballantyne would have a huge return on the kickoff, and on this drive, you had a Brashad Perryman drop on 3rd down. He had a couple of drops in this game. I don't think I'm as high on Brashad Perryman as other Jet fans are. I know a lot of people want him to come back as a 4th wide receiver. I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea. That is very, very, very far down my list of priorities. If they do that and bring him back, okay, great. But I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, excited about Brashad Perryman. He's very okay. But the Jets would get one of their first of many, we'll get to those, field goal misses from Sergio Castillo. Awful day. Seattle has a 3 and out on the Jets' next possession. Jets get the ball back. They move right into field goal range. A missed field goal again, number 2 miss on the day for Sergio Castillo. How on a play, I believe it was the play earlier or 2 plays earlier, Brashad Perryman did not get a defensive pass interference call. There were a few missed calls from the referees in this game. I'm not going to get crazy about it. Again, it's a lost season. If this is a game next year where the Jets are 6-6 in this game and fighting to stay relevant, then yeah, I'm upset about some of these calls. But it's very hard for me to get any kind of emotion going towards the referees in this game when the Jets are just doing so many things to beat themselves. Like that, again, that is so far down on the list of concerns. The refereeing and their calls is way, way, way down on the list. Seahawks get the ball back after the missed field goal. walk it right down. Carson walks into the end zone practically untouched. They go up 23-3. Jason Myers, former Jets kicker, the last Jets kicker that was good, misses the extra point, so the score remains 23-3. This sequence at the end of the half from the Jets was completely bizarre, and I would like to spend a little bit of time on this. So I was thinking, okay, like this is pretty much it, but the Jets decide that they were going to try to get some points before the half. They get a huge play to Berrios that puts him to about roughly the 30-yard line or so, give or take maybe 5-10 yards in that range, but it's a big possession, a big gain, and the Jets are in Seattle range, and there's about 10 seconds left. Now, they have one timeout remaining, but the play clock stopped because Berrios ran out of bounds. Well, the Jets were about to get a delay of game penalty and were forced to take their final timeout. Whether that's Gase, whether that's Darnold, whether it's probably a mix of both, which would be my guess, it's just awful. How that happens in the NFL is just ridiculous, and that's why you're an 0-13 team. That is the epitome of the stupidity with this New York Jets team, which is just unbelievable. So they instead do a little 5-yard out to their favorite guy in the entire world, Jamison Crowder, in the slot, and they would set up another field goal attempt for Castillo. Can he hit this time? No. 0 for 3 in the first half. God, he stinks. Second half, a couple of penalties extend the Seattle drive. Again, were they borderline? Yes, I would argue. The Hall one, I think, was legit. The May one, I'm not so sure about that. I thought it was a little soft. Wilson throws the touchdown pass. The Hawks go up 30-3. The Jets do nothing, give it right back to Seattle, because that's, of course, what's going to happen at this point. Seattle marches right down the field again. This time hits Moore for his 4th passing touchdown of the day. 37-3 in the third quarter. Disastrous. Geno Smith enters this game, which is just so funny because you look at it's just a meme. This game was a complete meme. I will never forget his 3 interception performance against Buffalo on 8 passes in 2014. Just that was my least favorite Jets season up until right this year, because that 2014 team was terrible and I could not stand Geno Smith. But this season is so much worse. So that was just funny that Geno Smith comes into the game, because of course he does. And the Jets just completely gave up at this point. Seattle would get another field goal to go up 40-3, which would be the final score. But just some things that bothered me down the stretch. We're not going to go play-by-play, drive-by-drive anymore, because what's the point? But Bless Austin, personal foul, taking his helmet off and getting a personal foul penalty to extend the drive. What are we doing? Like, again, this is why you're 0-13. Frankie Louvu celebrating a tackle on a drive where Seattle's going to score points to go up by 37? What the hell is happening? You can't be celebrating tackles. I don't care if you get anything, any kind of big play. When you're down by 30, or when you get beat or corner gets beat and is clapping because the ball was overthrown when you're down by 30, that stuff drives me absolutely nuts. Drives me crazy. So 40-3 is your final score. Awful day for Sam Darnold, who probably should have had 3 interceptions, but a lot of drops. 14-26 for 132 yards. The team as a whole rushed for 69 yards on the game. That's just unbelievable. Russell Wilson, 206 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He had a really good day. They pulled him in the third quarter. That's how good of a day they were playing. Geno Smith was 4 of 5 for 33 yards. LOL, Geno Smith. That's funny. Carson had 76 yards and a touchdown. Hyde had 66 yards on top of that. On the first possession for Seattle, I tongue-in-cheek tweeted that they were going to have 500 yards of offense. Well, they had 411. They had 411 yards of offense. This Jets defense the whole team is really awful, but just, 3 more games. That's it. That's all that's my parting words for you, is just 3 more games. That's it. That's all we have to get through. But for now, that's going to do it. Sound off in the comments below. You can follow on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.